Good morning, folks. It's Graham here on the 5th of September, if you can believe it. I've been thinking quite a bit about roots lately, how important they are. Roots are places of welcome. I remember how 36 years ago this morning I arrived back in England, the place of my growing up and birth and growing up, because my father had died. And I remember that place of welcome of family as we remembered and celebrated his life. I've been thinking about this place where Mona and I now live and how I have deep roots here in Tobermory that go back 44 years. It's amazing. This was the first place I came to in Canada. And 41 years ago this summer, I did most of the work to build this place where we now live. It was sold out of the family for a time, but now we're here. And as I sit here, I can see the floor plan that I laid out and the parts that worked and the parts that didn't. But the road out here is important to me too, because it leads to a piece of shoreline that has become very dear to me and where I've walked many times over the last many years. I always went to the end of the road here because we're not on the shore. We're across the road from the shore. But I always went to the end of the road to a little bay where you could swim and walk along the shore from there for miles. It was a place that I love. But 4 or 5 years ago, the bay was sold, and the people who bought it put up a gate and a no trespassing sign. I've gotten to know them since, so I still go there and still walk there, but at first the gate was an affront. Oh, I know why they did it, because people were coming in with ATVs and damaging the land. But that gate, it just cut me off from something I love. It was just one more retrograde step to diminish our access to and our freedom to move in this beautiful place. So that's by way of introduction to the gospel for today, which is in chapter 10 of John's Gospel. Very truly I tell you, anyone who does not enter the sheepfold by the gate, but climbs in by another way is a thief and a bandit. The one who enters by the gate is the shepherd of the sheep. The gatekeeper opens the gate for him, and the sheep hear his voice. He calls his own sheep by name and leads them out. When he has brought out all his own, he goes ahead of them, and the sheep follow him because they know his voice. They will not follow a stranger, but they will run from him because they do not know the voice of strangers. Jesus used this figure of speech with them, but they didn't understand what he was saying to them. So again, Jesus said to them, very truly I tell you, I am the gate for the sheep. All who came before me are thieves and bandits, but the sheep did not listen to them. I am the gate. Whoever enters by me will be saved, and will come in and go out and find pasture. The thief comes only to steal and kill and destroy. I came that they may have life, and have it abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd lays down his life for the sheep. The hired hand, who is not the shepherd and does not own the sheep, sees the wolf coming and leaves the sheep and runs away. And the wolf snatches them and scatters them. The hired hand runs away because a hired hand does not care for the sheep. I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. I have other sheep that do not belong to this fold. I must bring them also, and they will listen to my voice, so there will be one flock, one shepherd. For this reason the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have power to lay it down, and I have power to take it up again. I have received this command from my Father. This is the gospel of Christ. So Jesus is the gate and the shepherd. Gates, as I've said, can be an oppressive sign, a sign that we have forgotten. In the case that I was telling you about, that the land is not really ours to possess, that this land where we are now is originally the land of the Saugeen Ojibwe people. But Jesus calls himself the gate, obviously not in the sense of the gate being an oppressive sign, a sign of obstruction, a sign of unfreedom. He is the gate who protects us from oppression. Most importantly, the oppression of our souls, where we give ourselves and our lives to ideals and purposes that are unbecoming to our humanity, things that make us unfree. He is the gate who protects us from that. Jesus is also the gate who provides us with that spacious place of welcome. Welcome for our souls, the welcome that we all need. Acceptance, forgiveness, love, freedom to be who we are. The shepherd in Jesus' day often acted as a gate, perhaps lying at the entrance to a safe space, maybe a cave, where the sheep would spend the night. Jesus is the one who embodies God's protection and God's welcome, those open arms which invite us into God's embrace. Jesus reminds us that our deep roots, which is where I began my reflection today, our deep roots lie in our finding the freedom to be ourselves. That's where the longing of our hearts wants to take us. I want to end today with Psalm 23 for obvious reasons. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures and leads me beside still waters. He revives my soul and guides me along right pathways for his name's sake. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You spread a table before me in the presence of those who trouble me. You have anointed my head with oil, and my cup is running over. Surely your goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Be well, my friends.